All right. Hey, it's Tuesday night again, and I think I'm better on Tuesday night now that football season is over. Um, I'm not as bored because, well, I guess the Super Bowl is still gonna come on, so maybe that'll give me something. I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to review Imitation of Life Tuesday night, right? Um, I was gonna go to the movies, and get something more current, but I'm still watching Doolittle. So that'll be my next one. The Doolittles comparison. Um, but this one, Imitation of Life. And I'm talking about comparing the two imitations of life that was made 1934 versus 1959. It's you could get caught up in saying that this is a racial film. Like and say, oh, this is a film about race and about how Lana Turner or the other white lady wanted to be, she was white, but she wanted to be black. I mean, she didn't want to be black because she had a black mama and her black mama kept interfering with her life. If you think that that's what this film is about, you are totally missing the point, in my opinion. Um, but there are some things about race that piss me the fuck up. Like piss me off. I shouldn't say. Yeah, I should say that. Um, for black people, that whole thing of I can't wait till I die and have this wonderful funeral, type mentality. Nah. Let me just kill that right now. Like that is not what a majority of us be on. Um, at least I don't even think back then. I think that was kind of like to make the story, you know, writing. Um, when I die, I just save all the money for my funeral so I can go out with fancy fixings. I want all the fix. No. Um, it was some racial things that they dealt with. But I think more than anything, I think it was about a selfish people, how selfish and engulfed in ourselves we can be, even mothers and daughters. I know I hear my daughter now. I hear her. Shut up. I hear my mama. Oh my God. But because I'm a daughter and a mother. And I see at this point in my life how Imitation of Life is really about the selfish nature of us all. You have the mother daughter conflict. You have this, can I say, the single mother daughter conflict. Single mother, trying to raise her daughter. You have social class being dealt with here. There is a difference in the classes. There is a difference in how men respond to women. In both films, there are beautiful costumes given to the leading white woman, but intentionally play down of the black woman. Her whole costume looked like, oh my gosh. Especially the 1934 version. Oh my God, they did that wrong. It's so wrong. Can she get some eyebrow working out? Look. Anyway, the 1934 version, if as a black person, it kind of pissed me off more than the 1959 version, just because of the woman making the pancake mix and saying, "All I want is all my. You could have all the money. I just want to, they could have they played her all the way out with that type of thinking. Like she just got the short end of the intelligence poll on that. They came back in 1959, took the lady's business away, so the black woman did not have a even an idea of entrepreneurship or a brand or a product that she could use. It was all about the white mother and her being ferocious and independent and pursuing of her career as an actress. And as a woman, I'm still looking at them going, only thing this white woman knew how to do and be strong about was being an actress. Like she could have did anything. Like she was beautiful and smart, but the only career that would have made her anything was an actress, and the only way she was even doing anything was her codependency on men to make it, and it's like, come on now. I mean, as a woman on that spectrum, it just kind of was like, oh man, shit, really? And she got so excited about the men coming and creating opportunities for her as opposed to her creating opportunities for herself. And again, that's me here sitting on my couch in 2020, looking at this from that perspective. I'm looking at they raised two little girls in this film, and people, I have my situation with my children, and and this film just showed you that you could be a good mother. I take comfort in the fact that nobody's perfect. You had a mother who was trying her best, and her daughter wanted to be about that life. And it just becomes a situation where that's what the daughter wanted. Bigger than race, right? It was about the little girl had her own selfish desires that she thought could be met by her crossing into this other world. And then if she had any sense, she would see that she wasn't better off by any stretch of the imagination. In the way they depicted her in both scenes, but yet and still, that's what she wanted. That's she wanted to be in another world. Imitation of Life. Sometimes I can't bear to watch it. Let me just say that. Like I was talking to some young people. I don't think this is a film for the young people, like anybody born in the 90s, 2000s. I really don't think they can stomach it. Let me just put that out there. But I think it's an important film. I still think it's an important. I don't think it's something that I can just watch every day. Um, but I think it's an important film. Imitation of Life. And as I was doing a little research for this film to talk about it, I also ran across Pinky, another great film that should, about the issue of passing and color. Um, but yeah, it's a thing. It's no longer a thing that we have to deal with so much in 2020. I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, but it is a thing in terms of being selfish and caught up into the worlds that we perceive as what we want. And once we get there, is it really all that we planned for it to be? Like, is it really better than what where we are? You know what I mean? Like, the girl wanted so bad them streets, like she had to get in them streets. But was it really worse than going to the teacher college? Like her mama said. Um, in 1934 version, they gave a shout out to the HBCUs down in the South. They did say Spelman, Morehouse Clark, Morris Brown, but 1934 acknowledged that there were colored colleges in the South. So that were making an impact that people knew about, and people obviously were saying that it was a thing. Um, and still, for this girl who could pass this into this world, it was um even if she was gonna be low class white person, she'd rather be a low class white person than a teacher, nurse in a black society, because in her head she thought it was better. Do I blame her? Is that bad? Is that still a thing? Like, is there still like a thing like that? Like, I live here in Atlanta. Atlanta has a lot of opportunities for African Americans. You have African American doctors and lawyers, and I mean, we on the news, we got all this stuff, and yet and still, um, sometimes, I don't know. Somebody help me out. Tell me, is race still a thing? It's 2020. I don't know if, and especially with imitation of life. Like if you had an opportunity to be another race, would you choose another race? Like if you could switch over, like you became another person, would you choose another culture? I tell my husband all the time that I'm Mexican. He looks more Mexican than me. No hablo español. But when he started talking crazy, I tell him, there you go. Um, I don't know. Uh, Another culture could be, if you could, would you? Why? Um, Welcome to the. But this is not a film just about race. If you only get caught up in race on Imitation of Life, you're missing the story. Uh, I know this is really long, but I think it's important to know that um, this is a good film.